Hello and welcome to another action-packed episode of Your 4x4. I'm Danny Sparks Cousins.
I'm Simon Christie.
Well, Simon, what have we got in store for us today here at Mount Seaview?
Danny, we've had a fantastic stay again at the resort. The facilities here are awesome. But today we're heading west up over the hills. We're looking for a hill climb. Then back to the eastern side of the resort where we're having a play in the river and on the rocks. Then back west again where I think they've organised a quad bike tour for us.
Sounds like a top day. Let's get into it.
Your 4x4 is presented by the Holden Colorado 7, Light Force Performance Lighting, Brown Davis Automotive, Kmart 4-Wheel Drive, ARB 4x4 Accessories, Piranha Off-Road Products, and Berrima Diesel.
Plus special guests, Cooper Tyres.
Hi, I'm Cameron Brown from Brown Davis Automotive.
Good afternoon, Alan Johnson here from Piranha Off-Road Products.
Hi, my name's Sam Hockey, I'm from ARB.
And I'm David Price from Light Force.
Hi, I'm Andrew from DP Chip Berrima Diesel.
And I'm David from Kmart 4-Wheel Drive, and here we are, day 3, for another exciting episode of Your 4x4 from Mount Seaview.
Today's has been all about basically some of the tougher tracks and a bit of exploring. And we were very lucky Uncle Ralph took us out on his quaddie bike.
Yeah, I think today he realised that there was some tracks he hadn't been on in a while. And
Absolutely.
He definitely understood that we were looking for a little bit of a challenge.
We were indeed.
And so far, really, there hadn't been a car that had really stopped or not got through. So we thought we need at least one car that gets a winch or a pull through. So today, I guess Ralph said, look, I'll take you on the quad bike and we'll go exploring.
Yes, and the other good part is this afternoon we're going on a quad bike tour, so that'll be even more fun. But back to the morning.
So as we headed up through the edge of the rainforest and got down into that little gully there, you guys saw that track on the right, didn't
Sorry,
you?
Dave.
You couldn't help yourself, could you? The poor old Nissan.
It's here for testing.
Yep.
We've got to give it a go. And of course, I think it was Alan probably urging me on. And sure enough, better have a poke at it.
We had the opportunity to do something which we never do, would never dream of doing in public land, which is getting into some exploring. And there was a track that hasn't been used for a great many years. It was an old bullock track, he explained. Started off very, very steep and went up to the top of the mountain. So it was like just straight up the edge. And we had the chance to have a drive on that. That was absolutely brilliant fun.
You could tell it had barely really been used in years and years. I
Yeah.
mean, you could hear as the 70 Series bulldozed down a couple of things on its way.
Now I might add here, this we were allowed to do this, we were given full permission. The trees
Yes.
weren't trees, they were weedy things, so it was all good. But this is something we never get the chance to do, and that was a real treat, because it's something, it's a bit of fun out there. There's a whole range of tracks that go from old original bullocky tracks, tracks that go for shortcuts where there used to be, I guess, logging. There were some old logging slides and quite a bit of old equipment laying around in the place. And that's the beauty of being on private property. You get someone like Ralph, who's actually your tour guide, who shows you all the things and explains the history of it. That combines the two best things about four-wheel driving, guys. Exploring, four-wheel driving, and something you haven't done before, an adventure. What a life, eh?
We did do a bit of a loop on that trail, so we started off in rainforest and we found ourselves driving up a beautiful steep hill covered in swordgrass, and so we found our way up the top of the hill and weaved our way back down to the main road.
And once again, throughout this whole trip here at Mount Seaview Resort, just spectacular scenery.
The weather's really turned it on for us, hasn't it, Andrew?
Oh, it has, Dave. I mean, look, it's hilly country, and we might have been in a totally different position if we'd had rain up here, for sure. It's just been pristine, and I guess a really good time of the year to come up. We're coming into winter, it's dried off a bit, fantastic.
At one point we came up those grassy hills to amazing view just overlooking the valley.
Mount Seaview is an excellent place. It's a lot bigger than most people would actually understand, but you know, it's excellent to see that there's so much on offer. You can do a beautiful four-wheel drive track up a steep mountain muddy hill. You can go for a nice little leisurely drive through a rainforest, or you can drive across, you know, some nice tracks just through the paddocks.
What a fantastic time we've had up here, Andrew.
It's been absolutely awesome. Day 3, what a good day to finish with. The amount of stuff we've got covered, the tracks we've done, and what can we say about the weather?
Well, this week Tash Lucas has written in, and Tash has written, I love my 4B because it makes me stand out, gets me places others can't reach, but most of all it brings me into a world of fun and excitement.
This email entry has just won a projector, 150 watt ProWave pure sine inverter and a Lightforce tack torch and stubby holder. Plus all emails go into the draw for a pair of Lightforce 50 watt HID Venom driving lamps and a 5-person RV5 30-second tent thanks to Oz10. For more information on these prizes and all of the competitions, please check the website. Got a tough 4x4 tourer and enjoy hitting the tracks? Odds are you'll need some serious underguard protection and a heavy-duty long-range tank. Brown Davis Automotive offer aluminised steel underguard protection plates and long-range tanks for most popular makes and models. They're designed and developed right here in Australia and have been tested to the extreme right across this great country. remember Brown Davis Automotive. It's a trusted and family-owned Aussie business and proud manufacturers of high-end tanks, underguards and more.
ARB, Australia's largest manufacturer and distributor of 4x4 accessories, has everything you need for your next off-road adventure. From bull bars and suspension to recovery gear and lights, we've got four-wheel drives of all shapes and sizes covered. Whether you're heading off to bitumen for a weekend getaway or preparing for that epic round Australia trip, enjoy a safer, more comfortable journey with ARB. To order a copy of our free catalogue, visit our website or give us a call.
We found some pretty interesting tracks. There was a creek crossing that we'd done previously before, which we did in reverse.
We got to tackle a couple of creeks we'd been through in the last few days, but from a different perspective. So we took the more challenging entry and exit points.
Which was a bit of fun. Yes. And that was going down the big rocks and into the deep hole, which were ably guided by Simon, which was very, very good.
It helps a lot. You really start to notice, because the hard thing is with these cars that are quite big bonnet,
yes,
you can barely see what's in front of
Absolutely.
you. And that's where that's where a lot of the time stuff starts to come into its own, and we notice that when you're crossing rivers, it's hard to see a lot of the time, especially if a car in front of you've gone stirred the mud up.
Yep.
You can't see anything.
Again, private properties, you do get to sort of play around and probably test yourself. So it's a good thing. People, if they haven't been out and about on tracks, to actually sometimes come to a four-wheel drive park like this, or this sort of an area where you can do that and test yourself a little bit, test your vehicle. You don't have everybody queued up behind you, driving you along into maybe danger and damage. So once you know that, you know what you can do.
I know I came through and hit a big rock on the way through, and probably fortunate that those underguards were there.
I would say absolutely.
And when you look underneath now, it's definitely a case of, I mean, you can see the impact they've taken.
Well, it's taken a big whack and it's stoved in a fair way, but it's protected your diff. Otherwise you'd be going back home on a trailer.
Exactly. So that's where you start to see where the products come into their own. And it's the times, I guess, when you don't at all expect it.
Yep.
That's when you really need it.
The river crossings were fantastic, a little bit of a play through the creeks there and all that sort of stuff. Coming down over there, for some reason my tyre went flat.
Front left flat, not completely flat, yeah, it looked good seeing you coming in. It didn't look down, but all of a sudden, so maybe just pinched something on the way down there, coming off the rocks. But
look, and the beauty is when you've got all those people around you, like for instance we had Simon guiding us through. Who knows why that happened?
I think it just showed, a little bit of care. It was flat, but the tyre did bulge out to the side over the rim.
Correct.
That careful sort of walk through that you did and up to the other side. Well, we're not sure. Dave's just come down into the river, and we just noticed as he got a little bit onto the rock there, all of a sudden, that looks a little bit lower than it should be. So maybe he's just bumped it with the lower pressures, or it could have even picked up a stick. Just going to inflate it first, do a bit of diagnostics, and if it's something that can't be fixed very easily, off it'll come and on will go the spare.
Just before lunch, we headed to the other side of the resort for a bit of a play in one of the nearby creeks.
you come across the rocks, and if you're adventurous, you'll go to the right of that grass.
Right.
If not, you'll stick to the left. The water is not that deep, and it's a nice smooth run. Now there are a couple of different exits, depending on where you want to go and what you want to do with your vehicle. So you'll come out here through this silty section. For those who want to be a little bit more adventurous and have a crack, you'll come straight down past this beautiful cliff section.
Yep.
Alan has a couple of other ones down through here that he's played on. So some very difficult ones, some medium ones, and some easy ones, depending on what you want to do. Any questions?
Everybody got to have a drive through there, different depths in the creek and some nice exits out of that as well.
Those rocks around the river, I mean, they're great, but there's not a lot of traction, is there? It's like ball bearings.
There's some big ones, there's some small ones, there's clunking and banging underneath the car and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, look, no damage to the vehicles at all.
Perfect spot here. The river had the right amount of water as well, which was great. Wasn't too deep, wasn't too shallow.
Yep. Crystal clear, good rocky bottom, you know, a bit of solid, a little bit of movement in your wheels and all that as well. But it's just spectacular scenery. That backdrop of the magnificent big rocks
water
there.
hole, wasn't that great? Yeah,
absolutely. And it was very interesting coming over the rocks and up to the banks because of where all the silt and the floods and all that sort of stuff has built up. Made it very, very soft and very mushy to move around on.
First up this week is this GQ Patrol, kitted out for touring around the country. This photo was taken at the Wyperfeld National Park. Next is this 120 Series Prado, out for a day on the beach at Moore River in Western Australia. Now this is a nice looking 100 Series, set up with decent lift, big tyres, it's lots of fun on the tracks. This shot was snapped while in the Bunyip State Park. Another 100 Series shown here in South Australia's Canunda National Park. This rig is set up for travelling with the camper trailer. And our last entry is this Mazda Bravo, a recent purchase with plenty of mods planned. This photo was taken on the bank of the Pindari Dam in northern New South Wales.
If you've just seen your photo and you're the first to email danny@your4x4.com.au, you'll win a Piranha Premium Fluoro 12-volt camp light and a King Kokoda camp chair thanks to OzTent. Plus all photos go into the major series draw of a plug-and-go pedal chip and a Travel Buddy 12-volt oven for hot food on the go.
"30-second kitchen, a kitchen in 30 seconds. Fridge slide first. Fridge slide's got 130 kilo tracks in it, so it's nice and tough. Remove the R-clip, don't lose it. Drop the pin, leg locker, kitchen out. Lock kitchen down here, retrieve the R-clip, lock on here, R-clip in. Leg here, pull them together, stove, billy. How good's that, guys? Couldn't ask for quicker.
Sometimes the front runners lead from behind, and when it comes to protecting your rear, Kmart are world leaders in rear end protection and tow bar combinations. The just released Prado 150 is no exception, with a bar that is designed to follow the car's lines and work with your sensors and factory camera. For the best in rear end protection, trust Kmart. It's a statement, not just an accessory, but the toughest of 4x4 trips. For more info, go to kmart.com.au.
Does your diesel smoke, lack power or have poor fuel economy? Then you need the Berrima Diesel treatment. Fine-tuning diesels since 1956, the Berrima Diesel technicians are Australia's leading diesel wizards. From a turbo installation to a high-tech dyno tune, when you think diesel, think Berrima Diesel. Visit thedieselexperts.com and make an appointment for more power, more torque and better fuel economy.
Warning, beware of imitation lights. Only Lightforce performance lighting guarantees Australian made, no leaking or melting, quality output and 3-year warranty. Unlike their imitators, Lightforce lights feature peerless construction, leak-proof seals, impact-proof lenses and filters, vibration and fracture-resistant mounts and housing, and stainless steel fittings, outshining and outlasting their impersonators in every way. Often imitated, never replicated. Visit lightforce.com for the full range of authentic Lightforce lights.
The rest of the day has been terrific. We've had a whole diversity of different tracks. The river crossings are good, and we had a big play in one of the river crossings, doing it 3 or 4 times to try out different lines and different areas.
Yes.
Nice little gentle pull over the edge there, mate. That's all you need. You don't need a lot of oomph, do you?
Exactly, just a little tuck. Didn't do too bad, but a good point for suspension, something we have missed here. And the little bit of damage that we probably have done, rubbing things, absolutely suspension height would have made all the difference. And as we can see there, it certainly wasn't really stuck, just probably by about an inch or so.
Sounds like a Murray River on a Sunday. You've got to love the sound of a V8 diesel.
It's good to see all the vehicles made it through without any damage. That was excellent. But then, you know, we did actually take the playing a little bit further downstream and find some more challenging crossings.
Exactly.
The thing that surprised me is driving on the rocks, the noise that it makes.
The noise, it's like a hammer on the rocks. All the diffs hitting, the underbody protection hitting, all the parts hitting, you hear the snap, and then occasionally you see a rock fly off.
Yeah.
Pop across somewhere. I mean, as you go, they're big round rocks, they're not really pushing into each other like a lot of rock areas where they're sharper. They become a bit hard.
Yeah, and they
sit
pack.
in there, so they pack down quite nicely. The river rocks, of course, can't pack. They're all big basketballs.
Exactly.
So you're bouncing around. I mean, it gives it a little bit more fun as well as you're going through the water.
Yeah.
And the water's sort of splashing away. So,
yeah.
I mean, it all adds to, I guess, the whole experience of the day.
Takes us to the third river crossing, Andrew.
Very interesting.
Very interesting, that little part.
Wheel did that traditional catch me off guard, dropped in another hole on the air cleaner side. I sort of was ready for it because I knew I was going in deep. As soon as that dropped in, literally off with the key.
Yep.
So I was able to stop the engine. Could have been probably catastrophic.
Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Correct.
Couple of shots of the camera crew. Someone said one more time, a little bit faster.
What happens when you do one more time?
What did your wife say? Melcy, what did we say? We said one more, no more goes, no more goes. Don't try. And what does he have to do?
Listen to the wife.
Listen to the wife, that's right.
I want to be 100% sure.
Oh, yes.
Couldn't believe we're going to get an opportunity to have a ride on the quad bike tour as well.
It was basically a short drive up to where the quad bikes were, and then a brief lesson on how to operate a quad bike for those that had never ridden one before.
Today we're going on our quad tour. It's going to be a guided tour. It's going to go for about 2 hours. Throughout the tour, we'll be going through all sorts of terrain. We'll be going up and down hills, through a couple of creeks. Yeah, all sorts of different things. Enjoying the beautiful nature and beautiful scenery we have here at Mount Seaview.
When it's all right. It's meant to be firm.
All ready to go.
Good times.
Just awesome.
Great, lots of fun.
I will not underestimate the power of a Honda 250 again.
Mate, these guys up at Mount Seaview really know how to show you a great time. 1 minute you're there, next minute there, next minute you're up the hill, and I'm going, hang on a second, we've all gone right. So off I went, it was like herding sheep. Had to come and catch you.
Good question, Sam. It's actually sort of a question and statement all in one, because it is true. Giving a vehicle a good hard working does clear out the carbon. Got to remember, diesel is an oil, and oil burns a little bit sooty. Probably if we look at Grandma's kerosene lantern, it sometimes can get a little bit black in the glass tube. Same with the exhaust of a diesel, and pretty much from where it comes out of the engine all the way back through. So forget any sort of cleaning agents and all sorts of things. Really just a good revving and a good bit of a hard work now and then is the best thing that you can do. Now, I don't mean a long run, I actually mean you pull out of a sort of a very safe country road sort of intersection and just put the foot flat if it's an automatic, or if it's a manual, give it a good rev out through the gears. First, second, third, up to the speed limit, even slow down again. Do it 2 or 3 times. You might actually shock yourself when you look out the back and see a big cloud of smoke. The next time you do that again, succeeding straight after, a little bit less and less, before you know it, 3 or 4 of those slow down or rev ups and everything's clean. It's actually just soft soots building up in the exhaust. A lot of times diesels are repaired when probably they really don't need to be. In particular, like your model, a later Model 1, they are very well in tune. You still do get soft carbons because they are running fairly high performance, so they're running relatively heavy fuel loadings. They don't have that diesel particulate filter. You definitely don't want one of those. Like you said, just every now and then when you remember, just give it a good bootful up there. That's the best thing you can do.
Each weekly question writer wins a Kmart rated recovery hitch and 2 Kmart stubby holders. Plus each weekly question goes into the draw to win a 12-volt air compressor thanks to ARB. For full details on all of the prizes and competitions, please check the YOUR4X4 website. Well, Danny, what a sensational few days we've had here at Mount Seaview Resort.
Oh, it's been awesome. Really enjoyed the place.
The weather has really turned it on. The tracks have been fantastic. The company, the food and the facilities. Guys, you've got to get up here and have a look around. Stacks of national parks, and the resort has got plenty to offer for four-wheel drivers. And Danny, what was the highlight for you this weekend?
Oh, definitely the quad bikes this afternoon. It's been so much fun.
All right, well, I'm Simon Christie.
And I'm Danny Sparks' cousins.
Danny, how about we hit up another track?
Just one more.
Let's go, guys. Well, viewers, we'll see you on the next series of Your 4x4.
It's hard to work with professionals.